going on, guys? Welcome back to the LXB channel. Today we have a little bit of surprise for you guys. Well, I'll just show you.
I wonder what could be in here.
Oh yeah. That's right, guys. So we got some coilovers. We're going to get those installed, and we also have another surprise on the way, which I'm not going to tell you about yet. But we're going to go ahead and get these installed, and hopefully it won't be too bad of a process. I'm sure with my suspension, it probably hasn't been taken off of the car yet in like the 30-some years it's been on there. So hopefully it won't be too bad. But we're going to go ahead and get started on that, and I'll show you guys the process of,
Alright guys, so first things first, going to get some jack stands under your car, because you're going to need your jack to support this. So you're going to need a jack and jack stands, or blocks. I mean, that'll work, but jack stands are kind of important. So what you're going to do is get your caliper off first. So we're going to go ahead and take that off. All it is just these 2 bolts on mine. So we'll take that off and get something for it to sit on. And then we're going to have to take the nut on the tie rod end. We're going to have to take that off. And that way it can kind of move freely. And then we'll get to unbolting it. Alright, so you want to make sure when you take this off that you got something to support it. Just a box or anything will do, because you don't want it hanging from this line, because if it is, it's going to cause problems. It could rip your line, your brake line, and then you're going to have no brakes. So you want to make sure that this is always supported. Alright, so once you got that supported, you may need to take the bolts loose up here. This one, just depending on what you have, you may want to loosen that up, because this is, I know on mine it's really tough to get off unless you do it when it's up there. And then you're going to want to take these off, that way you can drop it out of there once you get this down here. So take these off, and it should be loose after that. So once you got these off, you can come down here, make sure you got your control arm and everything, got a jack under it, because as soon as this strut comes loose, it's going to drop. So you just put your jack under there, and once you got that loose up there, see that's loose, you can just go ahead and lower the jack down, and once this comes down, this will just pop out, and then all you got to do is get these 2 loose. We do need some of the stock parts off the top of this strut. Actually, this strut's so worn out, I can just pull it down like that. Isn't that something? But yeah, so once we get this loose, we'll go ahead and take the stock parts off of there and transfer them over so we can use them. So we got that off. As you can see, all it is these bolts and a nut on the other side. It goes through here. And you got these spacers. They're stuck on there just like that. And you're going to need at least one of those stock spacers, so don't lose those. And also, when you pop that shock off, this may fall down in there, because I did lose mine down in there and I could not find it. So if you can't find yours, it's probably down in there. Alright, so here's the stock shock. What we're going to need is this part right here. That's going to go on the top of the coilover. And then we need this cap right here. And actually, I believe that's it. I think that's all we need. Everything else kind of comes with it, depending on what you buy. But this nut right here is going to be a pain to get off. So what I did, I had it on the grinder. And all you got to do is grind one side down, grind the other side down, and it should fall right off. But this is not going to want to come off. Depending on how old your struts are. These, who knows how long these have been on my car, probably 30 years or so. So they're not going to want to come off. You may have to cut them off. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we got the nut off. So what you're going to need is this top part, that cap. You're going to need that. Don't know why that's covered in, it's not even grease. It's like sticky. I don't know what that's from. You're gonna pull this off, and believe that comes out. I don't think you need that. And then you're gonna need, I believe it's called the top hat. So what you're gonna do, so you got your new coilover here, spring on, spacer. Then you got your bearing. It's gonna go in next. Not like that. Carefully put it on this time. Then you have your rubber washer. Got your top hat. Then you got your rubber washer that goes in the top, and your spacer go in. I think they go separate, but this one's kind of stuck together, so it might be okay to just do it together. And then you've got your cap that goes on top. Mine's covered in sticky stuff again. I still don't know what that is. Then you gotta somehow compress this spring, which I'm gonna show you how I do it in a minute. Alright, so this is how I've been doing it. I just took some rope, stuck it up inside the spring, pull this back through so that kind of gets held tight. And then I'll take the other end of the rope, pass it through further up. So then, when you pull down this, it pulls down on the spring. So I'll put it on the ground here, pull down on this, it'll compress the spring, then I'll just put the nut on top, tighten it down, and that'll be it. So we got the coilover put together. That's all good. All we gotta do is bolt the top up right there. Bolt this down. And once you got it bolted to the top, you use your jack to kind of lift this in place. You get your spacers in there, you bolt that in, and all you gotta do is put your caliper on and you're done with the front. Alright, so we got that bolted up there. All we gotta do is get the spacers in between on each side and get it bolted to this. All we got to do is put the caliper back on, and I already adjusted this, but basically all you got to do to adjust these, if you have adjustable ones, is move this top ring up if you want it to ride higher, and then what you do is you move this bottom ring up against that and then tighten them together. So basically hold this one still and tighten this one down as much as possible, and then it'll lock it in place. So we're going to put this caliper back on and move to the back. I guess we kind of have to hurry because it's getting a little dark. Not going to be able to test out the ride today because we have some new shoes coming in for the Fox. So once we get this done, next thing to do is well, we have to fix the wiper motors, but then we got wheels and tires going on here. So once we put those on, we'll be able to get this thing off jack stands and see how low she rides, and hopefully she'll be ready for Carlisle. All right, so in the rear, what you got here is you have this little shock here. Not exactly sure what that's for. I've heard that once you replace your control arm or whatever right there, that this can be taken out, but I'm gonna leave it because it's not in the way. And you got your spring here is gonna be replaced, and this strut right here is gonna be replaced. So all you gotta do is right down here, you gotta take it loose right there, and then as you can see, it kind of goes up in here. Come up here, take your cap off, and underneath there, you can see, got to get that off right there. So we're going to take those loose, get this shock off, or the strut, and get that replaced. Bottom's loose. Now we just gotta get this bolt loose. So we got the stock one out. As you can see, it's kind of worn out. I mean, it won't even worn out. So you gotta take these off of here. Got a washer. Got like a rubber gasket type deal. And you also got one in your car that you gotta get out. So let me grab that. You got that as well, 2 of them. Take your new shock. Got your spacer. Put your metal piece on. Then your rubber washer. Then what you're gonna do is you can take this, you stick it up in the car. Then you're gonna put your rubber on the top over here, spacer, and then that. So we'll go ahead and do that so you guys can see. It's got the spring and this, I don't know what you call it, but this is what the spring's gonna mount onto. So let's put the strut in now. Get that bolted in there. See better. There's your rubber washer, and you got your metal washer and the nut. Tighten that down. All right, so we got that tight. We got this one tight down here, so that's all bolted in. All we got to do is lower this down, get that spring out, pop the new spring holder in. I'm not sure what those are called, and we'll be done. Yeah, so don't be an idiot like me. Take the spring out first and then bolt this in. So spring out, put your new spring components in like I'm about to show you, and then bolt this back up. All right, so you're probably gonna need a pry bar. Once you drop this down, you're gonna stick the pry bar in there and basically just try and pry it off is all you can really do. All right, got that off. Man, that's nasty. All right, so then your kit should come with one of these. What you're gonna do, just mount it up right here, make sure that's cleaned off. And you can kind of see this little top side right here. You want it like that. Let me show you, it's kind of hard to explain, but that's how you want it. It's gonna kind of slant like this, that way it kind of makes it flush. If you have it the other way, your spring's gonna slant like that. So make sure you have it just like that. Now you take this thing right here. Got a little bolt right there. Comes out right there. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna bolt this little plate to it, and that kind of holds it. That old plate goes right up in there. Stick the plate in there, and then this thing mounts right here. So your bolt goes through right into there. And all you got left, got your spring, got this little cap that goes on top. All you gotta do, slide your spring up on there, kind of make sure it's seated right there, and then all you gotta do is make sure this is bolted back up like you had it, and you're good to go. All right, guys, I know it's dark, can't really see the finished product that well, but that's what we got right there. There's the front. You can't really see that. I'll show you guys some more in the morning so you can see. All right, so here's a better look at what we got here. There's what it should look like. Both sides. That's how it should look on the rear. That's how it should not look on the front. I don't know if you guys noticed, but basically I just forgot to take the spring out. So I gotta take this loose and get that spring out before I'm done, but that's just kind of what it's gonna look like. So yeah, that's just a better look at what it looks like right there.
All right, guys, so if you like that video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see next. Leave a like on the video and subscribe for more videos. We got a car show coming up soon, so get excited for that. And we also have new wheels and tires coming in. So hopefully we'll have that on by Thursday. So be looking out for that video. And we're going to see how these Racelands ride. Yes, they're Racelands. I know they're not the best thing in the world, but they're going to work for our purposes until we can get something better. So like I said, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.